everything in marriage is 50-50. And I'm like, yeah, maybe when you have a salary, but when you run your own business, it's like... But yeah, it's our first wedding anniversary.
We just got married. A year later, we have cooking up a little baby.
Fuck patriarchy, but you should still honor your man and you should bow to your husband.
Everything our wedding was perfect, and there's no reason to believe otherwise. I'm like the long list of things that you have on your phone.
Yeah. Hi, babe.
How are we doing? Hi, baby. Hi, babe.
That's why I wasn't sure who you were speaking to. But yeah, it's our first wedding anniversary, and there's 3 of us.
There is. That.
Someone is still sleeping.
It's a wild reality that this time last year we had just got married, had the most insane weekend of our lives, and a year later we have an oven cooking up a little baby. I love it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's we should do a separate pregnancy update episode and see how surreal this whole pregnancy journey is. But it's definitely something that I feel like it's so cute that we're just 3 of us.
It is. Talking to the belly. We'll talk about anyway. Talking to the belly.
Yeah,
is
we
super
immediately
cute.
went straight into like,
but
pregnancy.
For this episode, I want us to look back on our last year.
Yes.
As husband and wife. I think it'd be a cool place to start. I know we've both written each other a little letter, which we can read out soon, but also to reflect on our vows that we made to each other a year ago.
Yes.
So do we want to start there?
Yeah, so basically we wrote our vows separately from each other.
Oh,
it was like a big secret to the point that like sending it for printing was like a big deal, right?
Yeah. We wanted to, it's at the end of the day, we wanted it to be from ourselves, not to have overlaps, which is the irony of what ended up happening. That was the irony. Like we were very careful to make sure that we really spoke from the heart and created something that the other person didn't have access to.
And that was like, I don't want to say before ChatGPT, but like I think ChatGPT was way too basic. It didn't even cross our mind to like get inspired. I feel like now I would be like, maybe. But the funny thing is, every time I wrote my vows, and I worked on them for months and days and hours. Every time I would sit down, I like tapped into that energy of my love for you. I would cry. I was like, there's no way in the world I can say these vows out loud in front of people without bawling my eyes out. But then you went first. And you said the exact same thing. So when it was my turn, I was just laughing. I was like, this is crazy. I'm like,
in a way, in your head, because you're like, what the fuck? We've actually said the same shit.
Yeah. So I'm like listening and I'm like, oh my God, I literally said the same thing. We had like 6 or 7 things.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the reel that we did, but there was so many overlaps on our vows. It's honestly crazy. Well,
the first thing is like, when I met you in 2017,
let's go read through our vows.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing. They're long. I don't know if I should read the whole thing.
No, just pick your favorite moments. I'll start with the first one. I bow to the light within you, to the man that you are, and to the husband you're about to become. I almost want to say that it's like I bow to the father you're about to become.
Oh, that's part of my next letter to you. So I love that. It's so beautiful. I think something that I found myself when I was writing coming back to as an important line for me was, so I stand here before you, rooted in who I am today, many versions of myself different from who I was the day I met you. And from this place, my truest self, with the same indescribable feeling running through my veins, I share my vows with you. And I think it was just the context of realizing how different we were back when we met in 2017 to where we are now, and that constant evolution that we're having as people, as we grow, as we step into these new versions of ourselves, and now coming into parenthood.
Yeah. How
there is a constant evolution of what our vows need to be.
Yeah, and they say you're going to be in at least 3 to 5 different romantic relationships in your life, and it's up to you whether that romantic relationships will be with the same person or not.
That's beautiful.
And I feel like we're definitely on like version 3 at this point.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we've gone through a couple of versions for sure.
Yeah, I think it was like.
But you can also tell that there's new versions coming in a way. Like you can see that there's like, wow, this will be the next evolution, and then it's like 5, 6, 7, 10 years down the line will be the next evolution. It's like that's the choice you make in a long-term relationship. Like, are you willing to evolve the relationship?
100%. And I think because. It depends how you live your life, because we're constantly pushing ourselves and constantly growing. I feel like that evolution is just so much faster than it would have been, 10 or 15 years ago, at least for me, or it might be for some other people, but we first met, we were different people. Then we got together, which I said still the same people. And I think after the breakup, we have become.
I think it was the breakup that made me realize that we were still living with the people we were versus being in the present with who we are at that point.
Yeah.
And then the breakup allowed us to step into those people. And then us coming back together, we were like, oh, we still fucking love each other, even as the new people we are. Okay, this is a thing.
Yeah, because a lot of times people say, like, oh, you broke up because you were growing and Jacob wasn't. But that's not true. I was still attached to the Jacob I met years ago. Same. And I wanted you to be, and you wanted me to be the same Aggie. And I was a completely different Aggie. We're both like kind of just like, come on, go back to
living in the past.
We used to be so good together. Like what happened? And now we're so much better together, but we're nowhere near the people that we thought we were.
Yeah, it's been an evolution.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So that was very, very cool. I think I haven't read the Vows since the wedding.
I know. I'm like looking through it now. I'm like, oh, that was cute. That was cute.
I wanted to start with the word bow because I think there's this like big, we say patriarchy and there's this like big wave. Oh, we should hate on men, like, or like men are this and men are that. And I think
fuck
it destroys
patriarchy. But...
Yeah, also fuck patriarchy, but you should still honor your man and you should bow to your husband. And I think it's like you bow to him not because he's a man, you bow to your husband because he's a human being and he's a divine, he's a perfection, and so am I, Exactly. So like namaste essentially means I bow to the divine in you because it's also within me, not because you're better than me, but because I see myself in you. And
that's the same as when we look at the I am affirmations that we do. It's not saying I am perfect and you are not. It's like, no, we are all this. And we believe this deep within that I bow to you, you bow to me. And it's not a case of one person being superior to the other.
100%. And I think I wrote something down for my letter for today. I don't know if it's very relevant to what we're talking about. So maybe I'll read it just to keep people completely confused.
Do you want to just read the whole letter?
No, just this one moment.
Just this confusing section. Go for it.
That all I know about my life is asking myself this one question. How can I do better? How can I be better? But this very question assumes I'm not being or ever doing enough. And I always extend the same question to you, baby, and everyone around me. But that's always living in the gap. That's constantly searching for what's missing. And of course, being able to find it. Better question to ask myself in our marriage is, how am I so lucky? How incredible my husband is. And also, I'm not going to go into the later.
So beautifully written.
But it's...
Oh.
But
so
it is
but it's
beautifully
so true.
when you say beautifully, he doesn't mean my handwriting.
Yeah, handwriting sucks, but like the words look great.
And it was like, and I realized it's because this is my reality. If I am so hard on myself, and so then I'm so hard on others. There's no way to be hard on yourself and not be hard on others. So if I'm asking myself, how can I do better? This was the question I kept asking about you. How can you do better as a husband? And I'm like, this is like just not a fun wife to be around. So I think going back to my vows, like I wanted to bow, sexually too. But like
I wanted to bend over.
No, I mean like yeah.
It is.
Because I was like, how do we get pregnant? No surprise there. But I wanted, because I was just like, wow, I really bow to the man that you are, not from a place of, being less than, but being equally divine than you. So that was kind of like what I was trying to say. Then I wanted to do something from Kabbalah, which is I have 100% certainty about this marriage, about you, and that you're my chief adventure officer, my skydiving buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We overlapped on a few of those things. For me, I think there was wanting to really share my appreciation for how being in this relationship, being with you in this relationship has allowed me to feel like, allow me to see so much more of myself during this. And I think it's like, it's funny how that's quite a common thread in relationships, but I feel like it often gets a little overlooked, like how powerful it is to be in a relationship and how powerful it is to have someone who truly roots for you and truly allows you to feel like you have a safe container to be able to like express yourself. And I think for me, that's been so refreshing in this relationship. And I think it's been time and time again. And that was an important thing I said. Where is it? I thank you for the container you've held for me to truly see myself over the last few years. It's given me a deeper freedom than I could have ever imagined. And then the following line, talking of getting so lucky. Loving you has been the greatest honor of my life so far, and I'll forever be asking myself the same question. How did I get so lucky? Which is on the tattoo, hence why the move. And it's true. It's a question that I will, even when we are at each other's throats, like it's a beautiful reminder because I truly do feel like I got so lucky in life being with you and getting, all the amazing things we get to do, who we are. And that's just, that runs true now as it did a year ago.
And I think you allowing yourself, letting me love you for all parts of you that felt unlovable is also like a big step of courage, because you didn't feel like you could be fully yourself, or you had to be just this perfect Jacob, right? Because you were this perfect partner, because you're like, oh, just perform and I'll be the perfect husband, and then da 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 da. And then I realized, I'm like, babe, like you can be yourself. And I think this was such a new concept to you that like, that made us get back together, because you finally shared who you truly are in like the most beautiful. It was like people will show you their true colors.
Yeah.
And like or would it say like
that was a negative connotation.
But it's also like
but it's a positive one.
Color, yeah, for us it was definitely positive. What do you think of the hair? It's good.
It's like what she asked me when we reached each other on the aisle, and the first question, because it was the one question she genuinely cared about because I hadn't seen it, was, do I like the dress?
And it was so... saw the dress.
When?
Because they show you the drawing, remember?
I mean, if that was meant to be an accurate representation, they missed the mark.
Yeah, but I was so upset. Anyways, we're not going to go there.
No, because everything at our wedding was perfect. And there's no reason to believe otherwise. Unlike the long list of things that you have on your phone.
Yeah. So this is where we overlapped as well. People often say, if you told me when we met that I would be standing here, I wouldn't believe them. But that wasn't the case for me. I knew the second we met in a sweaty hotel lobby in Thailand 7 years ago that I met my future husband. It was love at first sight, like in the movies and books. What did you say?
I said, it was an indescribable feeling, the same feeling actors try and play out in the best movies. This time there wasn't a script, it was real. I had run into the lobby of a beautiful hotel in Thailand.
Mine was sweaty.
Sweaty, mine was beautiful, both beautiful. And then there was that other bit further down where I said, each evening, the conversation ended very much the same, that in another life we would be together, which is exactly the line.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
And I said, little did I know that life would be this one, but in a weird and beautiful way, it makes total sense. We've been so many people since we met, and we will become so many more in the years to come. A constant cycle of becoming and unbecoming.
So beautiful. I kind of like that we didn't listen to the vows like since. We didn't, because we don't have a wedding
we like cut
video.
together that video like a month after, and then we haven't.
Yeah, but it was not a full
it was
set
just
of vows, so this is really cool.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, I wrote some really nice stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, cool. Like, it's almost nice to listen to it again. There are many things.
My nerves, I said Eva instead of Iwa.
Oh.
For your middle name.
Oh, really?
During when I was there.
See, I don't remember that either. All I remember was like, I was so excited to see you. I just wanted to make out with you.
Yeah.
And then when we were trying to kiss.
We can't kiss.
Yeah, I was like such a tease. I promise to never take you for granted and continue to appreciate all the small ways you make my life better, like starting the kettle in the morning. Oh, I used to do that. Or my bath in the evening, or letting me take the many sports cars you get to drive in for a spin.
Absolutely. I love that.
The car theme. Do you want to read mine for you? Oh,
yeah,
wait.
No, it was a coffee theme because we had the first sip of coffee.
Oh, wait, but there's a car theme as well. Remember how I said, I vowed to put a little bit more effort in my nightgown choices. I did it.
You did. There's good nightgown choices.
That was a good vow. I did put some effort in my nightgown choices.
Once a week.
No, like I don't sleep in ugly stretched out t-shirts anymore.
That's true. You don't just sleep in my underwear anymore.
Yeah. So I feel like we definitely got upgraded to always have the first sip of your coffee.
I vow to always let you have the first sip of my coffee.
Still happens.
Still happens.
And this is the vow. This is the wedding vow I did not keep. Even though
I tell you what it is, because I know what it is. That you basically won't be a backseat driver and comment on my driving or something.
I said, like, I vow to stop complaining when you're driving too fast.
Still happens all the time.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, guys, remember this. If we didn't have our wives telling us this, we would have crashed many times. And I don't know how I get in the car when my wife isn't with me and survive. It's truly a miracle,
right?
That I survive
so
when you're not in the car. Like I'm baffled.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
I did not keep that vow.
You did say about skydiving partner though, because I said I vow to show up as a husband, a passionate lover, a skydiving partner, a green tea maker. 2 things there: a shoulder to cry on and a friend to laugh with.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I vow as your husband I will not keep the score, even though I'm totally winning. What did you say?
I said, oh my God, I promise to never keep the score, even though I'm truly always winning.
Like, that's actually crazy.
Even when I'm clearly winning. I promise to never keep score, even when I'm clearly winning.
I promise I will not keep score, even though I'm totally winning, is what I wrote. That's fucking insane.
Also, we're still keeping the score.
Yeah. I win on that one. I did it first.
So we got better at keeping the score, for sure.
Yeah.
But
it's something we talked about recently, actually, right?
Yeah, it's so tricky, right? Because it's like, it's not like you did this.
The tit for tat of like, oh.
We don't do that as much.
No.
But it's the kind of score that we're keeping. What would be the way, like a good example to share?
Who's busier?
Mm-hmm.
I think like in business, and I think actually, so I've got an answer for this thing as well, as I say it. So I find myself and you keeping score on who's had a busier week or who's having a busier day or like who's more stressed. Mm-hmm. But I think what Danielle...
Yes, Danielle Canty, our very good friend.
She recommended this amazing thing that her and her partner Darius do. And they basically have a score that they share in the morning of what level of stress they are, 10 being, super stressed, insanely stressed, like can't handle it, to 0 feeling, nothing at all and totally chill, to then know where your partner is at in the morning. And so you can then regulate, because if you know that you're having a 9 out of 10 day and you need someone to talk to, but then you just assume that I'm okay, but I'm actually having a 7 out of 10 and I'm really stressed as well. Often that might not work. But
and I think it's not easy to relate to people that don't run their own business.
That's true. This comes from 2 people that are running their own business and very, very busy, but it also might compare to 2 people that are both very busy in their work and in high pressure jobs.
Yeah, but we work from home. So a lot of times it's like when it comes to running an errand or organizing something, it's like, because our work is like, sometimes I have a very chill day and sometimes you have a very chill day, and sometimes our days are like, holy shit, I'm on this like, Japanese speed train that I got. Bullet train. And
Japanese speed train. Love it.
And I'm like, I can't, like, I need some help, right? And the other person who has a chill day is just like being annoying or like not blissfully unaware how stressful the other person is. That is where we keep the score. And I think it works both ways. Sometimes like I have like 9 meetings back to back and I will ask you, like, can I get a water? And then you're just like vibing because you don't know how busy my day is. And I'm like, babe, please just want water. You have no idea how stressed I am. And it works the other way, where you have something happen that really upset you, and you obviously not sharing, and I'm just having like the time of my life. And then I don't realize you just lost the contract for like $500,000. And I'm like, okay, cool, unaware. So yeah, so that happens.
We'll talk more about that, and I think another episode we talk a little bit more about business and relationships, because I think it's a really powerful tool that Danielle shared and some other stuff that we
Yeah,
do.
and I think it's like a lot of times we did this reel recently. It was like uncomfortable conversations about the wedding, and we shared that we like signed a prenup before our wedding, and we went through, you know, the whole process, and people were like, everything in marriage is 50-50. And I'm like, yeah, maybe when you have a salary, but when you run your own business, it's like you borrowed from yourself to help with your business, you know, like especially if you own your own business and you're not on salary. It
all goes out the window the moment that little boy is born.
Well, no, but like sometimes you make very risky decisions for your business that impacts us as a family because you're taking the money out of the business, or you decide not to pay yourself. Like I decided not to pay for myself to continue with the app or continue with the supplements. Like these are not decisions made in silo, right? These are like big investment decisions that impact the whole family. So it's like you really need to like have that conversation with each other. Anyways.
I agree. All right, should we read a little letter that we wrote to each other?
Yeah. Oh wait, I just want to say the one thing from the original Vows, because my letter is quite short, so I'm trying to fill up my time. I said, I'm not sure what your exact plans are for the next 50 years. Okay, so I'll do it again. Long story short, my love, I'm not sure what your exact plans are for the next 50 years, but if you're down to travel the world, make babies, raise a family, jump out of planes, heal your inner child, buy dream homes all over the world, and give back to the community, I'm so down to be your wife. Thank you for giving me the front row access to witnessing your light, your greatness, and your journey. Thank you for finding me in this lifetime, and here's to many more to come.
So beautiful. Reliving it. I want to go back. Let's do the wedding again.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
That's amazing.
My ending section, I think I read most of it, but the final thing that I said, let our journey be a constant evolution of who we are, and here's to the delicious unknown that we now get to explore together.
Aww.
Just on that journey of the unknown. Really is with this fella. It's on his way.
I know.
Whole new chapter.
Little beer belly.
Yeah, she's been ripping pints, basically. She's not actually pregnant. she's just drinking beers.
Yeah. Surprise!
Surprise! No, we're kidding. Our little boy is on the way. He's cooking up. So I wrote you a little letter. It's only short, a few paragraphs.
Okay, good, because mine is also short. So
Okay.
no, I'm just keeping score, but you know.
Constant keep. I'm winning.
Wait, I wanted to say, so it's basically the paper anniversary.
Yeah, so 1 year anniversary is the theme, or the whatever they call it, is paper.
So we decided to give
write each
ourselves
other a
some
letter.
cash.
yeah. Stack of cash each. Clever. But no, we wrote each other a letter that we thought would be really nice to read one another. Yeah. I'll go. Hi, beautiful.
Hi.
I can't believe it's been a year since we stood at the altar and said our vows surrounded by our closest people. The last 12 months have been nothing short of perfect, because anything less would mean you and I are living in the gap, and that's not a place either of us should be. With that said, I know we've not always aligned through every moment of the past year. We've fought and we've argued at times, but we've also laughed, lived, and loved so hard that we've created a new life, one that's currently in the oven and to be born very soon. The thought of having children often scared me, the worry of losing my life or my freedom, but knowing this little baby boy is inside of you right now fills me with so much joy. You're going to be the most incredible mother, and together I have no doubt we'll be the most incredible parents. Although everything I vowed on our wedding day of course still runs true now, I feel them even more deeply knowing that we have a little boy on the way, and I now have our whole family to protect and show up for. With that said, I wanted to avow a couple more things to add to the list. I vow that I will always show up as a team player in Team Jaggy, for us to be on each other's side through this new chapter of life and approach each challenge together. We have to make sure that we work together, not against each other, now in the easy parts and in the future when things inevitably get tough.
Us against the baby.
Us against the baby. Absolutely. I vow to not only show up as a father, but also as a husband to you, to keep the spark of our love, passion, and curiosity alive, to make time for us and prioritize us, something I want our children to be inspired by. And thirdly, I vow to leave our family. And thirdly, I vow to lead our family with presence, curiosity, and unwavering commitment to joy and excitement.
Wow, beautiful.
So,
You're such a good writer. You never
thanks,
get to
English
see
first
that.
language.
Oh, but it's so nice. I want more letters. This is so cool.
I'll write you more letters.
I think that I just had this thought about writing and notes and everything. That it's like, obviously, when you're dating and you don't live together, you end up like texting each other quite a bit. And you're such a good texter. I remember like getting all the
Nice
all the
so now we're here, like, yeah, like your name goes further and further down my like WhatsApp list when we're together.
I have you pinned.
Oh, I like it going bing to the top again.
Oh, you do. But it is funny how like that's like with you being so good with words, that was like such a big part of like turning me on and like getting the butterflies in my stomach. And now
I don't do that, and now you have no butterflies. Damn it. Okay.
No, but it's kind of cool to like keep that going. So one of the things that we started doing is like investing $3 in Post-it notes, and sometimes we write ourselves little notes in the
Write
kitchen.
each other little notes.
Write each other.
And ourselves. Jacob, you're a fucking legend. Oh my God, babe, thanks so much for this note. I wrote myself.
No, it was cool because
Yeah.
I think it's like at the end of the day, it's like when they say like you're in love, you just love being. You love the version of yourself that you are next to that person, and then when you're not that version because you're petty, or that you're resentful, or you're exhausted, or you think small, the first reaction when you think when your life is shit is to blame your partner. Oh, because you're not
closest
motivated,
person
you're not
to you.
working out, blah, blah, blah. Instead of taking ownership. And I think one theme that we've been seeing, what's becoming something that I'm working on because it really bothers me and other people, is like not taking ownership. That it's just like when people take ownership for their part of their puzzle, for me it's like I'm obsessed with that person. Like I want to like spend time with them. I think they're emotionally mature. It's incredible. And I really look up to them. But like we recently had a couple of situations with people that were like making it about, I'm like, how is this about?
How do I feel guilty for a situation that has nothing to do with me?
Yeah, I'm like, this is incredibly interesting. And I think we live in a society that stopped taking ownership for little stuff. Instead of like, oh, I'm so
it's also
sorry.
easy to blame your partner. Like I've felt that from you in times, and I've done that to you in times as well. Like it's very quick to go, oh, you did this and now I can't do this. And you're like, actually, no, that's not what happened. Like
it's almost like a reflex. And then you have to catch yourself and being like, oh no, you're right. I didn't do this.
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh, but like,
I think just back to the Post-it notes thing as well, like there's a bigger piece of that of just like it feels good to give and be kind and show up in those ways, like writing a little note to you or a letter, like it's just simple, small thing, but like sharing that and being in that place of giving, it's the place you want to spend the most time in. It's way nicer than receiving. It feels so good to give.
Yeah, I kind of...
ABG, always be giving.
Okay, so I said, today's our first wedding anniversary. I'm sitting in front of you, remembering
Confidence, come on. What's...
Okay. I'm sitting in front of you, remembering how every time I started writing the vows, I'd cry. But then on the wedding day, I couldn't stop laughing because you went first and your vows and words were completely the same. How has the first year of our marriage been? Challenging, but the most connected, the most trying, but the most fulfilling. And the best part, obviously, being pregnant with our baby, our son. I know you can be pregnant from a physical place, but not fully in your pregnancy with your soul. But the thought that our son and men out there is going to have such a great example of a dad is what it means to be, and to see what it means to be a true man gives me so much hope for the humanity.
Oh, beautiful. You pulled it back together. That was good. Well done.
Yeah. The more I wife, the more I want to do better. Wow. I'm like,
the more I wife. Cool.
Because I've been wifing.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the baby's babying.
Yeah.
Inside there, you've been wifing.
The more I wife. I did read that it's like all I know about my life is a question: how can I do better? And I thought it's a very good question because I always want to do better. How can I do better? How can I do even better? And then I realized that just this question assumes that I'm not ever being good enough and I'm not ever doing enough.
Comes from
and
lack.
then it's like validation, right? It comes from luck. And then I always extended the very same question to the people I care about the most. So like, how can you do better as a husband, as a father? And don't you worry, I let him know how he can do better. And that's living in the gap. It's funny how we mentioned the same thing. That's constantly searching for what's missing and, of course, finding it. Better question to ask in our marriages: how do I get so lucky? How incredible you are, but also to be praying for you. So instead of telling you off when you're on your phone first thing in the morning, I just want to pray that you find peace, the inner peace, the joy, the fulfillment, for you to let go of stress of your work, and to see that, everything you're looking for is already in front of you. And I think I didn't really expand to that part, but a lot of times when there is something that bothers us in a relationship, like I know why you check your phone sometimes first thing in the morning, because you came to bed early because I wanted to snuggle and you were not tired. So you're like, I was like, babe, get off your phone. So basically this is the scenario in our relationship. It's like 9. I'm like, babe, off your phone, please.
9 is a stretch, babe.
Well,
7:30.
No,
European summer's 9. Everywhere else is 7:30 or 8
Yeah,
o'clock.
so I'm like, let's be off our phones like past 7. That is like what I'm trying to do, and I'm making you do, which is really toxic of me, because it's like, let's not be on our phones. And you obviously like hiding that you're still on the phone. I'm like, babe, get off your phone, because then it's like this energy. And then you mention something, because it's like we operate very differently, Jacob, before going to sleep.
Come alive going to bed with all these thoughts.
He's like, babe, you know that bill that we didn't pay, or that person that we
land
have to
we're trying
sue?
to sell.
Yeah. And then I'm like, oh my God, now my head is spinning. I won't sleep. Anyways, so that was basically you. And then I was like getting really upset, or like when you grab your phone first thing in the morning, get on your emails. And then I'm like, instead of like doing this, and I'm just like, like, why are you grabbing your phone? Like, I know why you're grabbing your phone. I know that you are doing this because you have this urgency to provide for me and for us. And you wake up, and that's the first thought you have as you wake up. That's a more empowering belief than saying like he has no self-control. He loves being on Instagram, because you're never on Instagram or anything. You just work emails.
Like, fucking emails. Shit. Like, okay, this is happening. This is happening.
Yeah, Middle East woke up. They just responded for like da.
Yeah.
So I think it was really interesting that I was like, well, he's doing it for us. Instead of thinking like, oh, he's just selfish that he's getting
Isn't
on the
that
phone.
like a better feeling thought? Who says that?
Choose a better feeling.
Brene, or is it? It's not Brene Brown.
Who does that? Can I choose it? I mean, Abraham Hicks.
Abraham
choose a better
Hicks
feeling
is like,
thought.
can you choose a better feeling thought? And it's like you go through that whole chart to figure out how can you change your belief.
So my thought is like, you don't care about me and the family. You're getting on the email. But I was like, well, he's getting on the email because he's trying to make money for us. And then like, instead of like getting upset, I was like, can I just pray that like you have the certainty that obviously we don't need
because you worry about
make
my stress, and you worry about my peace and health and all of that. So I feel like the prayer is probably in that realm of like
inner peace, for him to know he's already there, for his joy, his fulfillment, self-love. Yeah, he is perfection. He's kind. He's one of one, and he's my top priority.
Oh, I love you.
Yeah, that was really good. Yeah, so I think it's been a good year, huh?
Should
we do one more year?
Go on then. One more?
Maybe
two?
One at a time. I think it's
Then?
like the whole thing with weddings. It's like they say like, oh,
Let's just keep it on the edge for all of our haters. Maybe we'll do a year. Maybe we'll do 2 months. Maybe we'll get divorced.
But
Maybe
like,
we'll do 5 years.
I feel like
You're never gonna know.
The vows should be for a year only, and then every year you renew the vows, and you're like, are they relevant to what we're going through right now? And maybe that doesn't sound very good. Maybe it wasn't a good idea. I don't know.
I like the concept. I think the vows of the wedding should be the underpinning of the relationship as they are, but then like to revisit them yearly and add ones or think or just reflect on them is a really important thing. Because
it's like the game that you just like add 4, like start with 5, and then every year you add an extra vow.
Is that a game that's out there?
Well, there was like a little like You try to remember as many sounds.
Oh, yeah. You're like, now remember them all.
Yeah.
No, I think it's good for us to reflect on them. I think it's important to. And I feel like otherwise, like looking back then, looking now back at what we said, I'm like, oh, beautiful. Like we had that awareness now. And I think it runs true then. And it now runs true now. Mm-hmm. I'm fucking messing up my words, but you know what I mean.
Oh, English, not first language.
English, not first language. Anyway, I think what we did is great. And I think it's an important stage of being, in a relationship together, to constantly not just be sharing words, but then obviously seeing how we've actually showed up and done those things.
Yeah.
Words are easy. Actually committing to them is the challenging part. So great chat, babes.
All right. Good chat. Thanks.
Love you.
Love you too.